Hey guys, good afternoon. So in this video, I want to give you an update on my situation with the parasites. So I don't know if you saw yesterday's video, but yesterday I was having a pretty hard moment. I had been up most of the night having the runs. It was not a fun time. And then I had this horrible, horrible, horrible telltale sign of burps that smell like rotten eggs or sulfur. As soon as you get that sign, as soon as I get that, it's like, oh no, that's how you know. So yesterday I was feeling really, really miserable. In fact, yesterday was one of those like really, really awful days where just I couldn't move. I didn't want to do I couldn't even meditate. That's like how debilitating it was. I did get my ass up and go to classic Casa Curativa, but it turns out that was part of the solution. In fact, today, if you haven't noticed, I actually feel great. I feel better than I've felt in a while, which is kind of weird considering how absolutely horrible I felt yesterday. And the interesting thing is that in the past, I've been living here in Guatemala for 2 years now, and parasites are something that you're going to encounter living in Guatemala. It's just part of the terrain. It happens whether you like it or not. You know, you can do your best to protect yourself, but something will go wrong. And what's interesting is that in the past 2 years of living here, whenever I have had this experience of parasites, it turns into like days and weeks of misery. It turns into so much discontent and suffering. Maybe you remember from last year. I still have those videos up. Yeah, so the funny thing was, normally in the past, having these parasites would mean so much suffering for so long, and then yesterday, I just did all of the right things. And today, I woke up, and I am feeling just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I had energy to clean my apartment, I made chicken soup for the dogs, I did all of these things that yesterday I just, could not for the life of me. I could barely, move my limbs. So that feels great. I feel great. And in fact, I was going to show you some of the things that I took. All plants. So I didn't have to fry my system with penicillin. I didn't have to do anything really drastic that would hurt my body while in the process of wiping out the parasites. Because that's sometimes, you know how sometimes the thing you do to try to solve one problem can create bigger problems. Yeah, Jenny's asking, maybe food poisoning for lasagna. Yeah, possibly. So I'm still planning to go to San Pedro today after lunch. In fact, I'm going to show you what I have for lunch today. I'm still planning to go because it's still good to just see, do I have a parasite? Which parasite? You know? And because then that will also inform the treatment. But I would say that one of the biggest things that really helped me was something called Goldenseal. So I mentioned how I went to my class yesterday at Casa Curativa. Casa Curativa is where Julia lives and works, and Julia is our neighborhood herbalist. In fact, I think that's one of the things I love about living here in Guatemala in our little community is we have our neighborhood herbalist, we have our neighborhood apothecary. So you can go and get medicine, good, real medicine, not pharmaceutical medicine, which is it's good. It has its place. But I took this Goldenseal yesterday, and with barberry, that really helped. I took this Parasite Powerhouse, which has a bunch of stuff: clove, black walnut, wormwood, neem, garlic, apazote, milk thistle. I took some raw garlic this morning. I've been on the system-wide antibiotic, Cider, cryptolepsis, jacaranda, apazote, or Oregon grape, and liquid. I did all the things, and so now the challenge is with something like parasites. So first thing to know, if you are chronically tired, if you're chronically tired and depressed and have funky digestion, you might want to look into the possibility to see if you have a parasite. Because for me, that's the worst part of it. Having no energy, and then yesterday just feeling just how easy it would be to sink into depression and sadness. And actually that became part of my practice, because you've heard me maybe talk about meditation, how the purpose of meditation is to really watch our thoughts and to notice where our thoughts take us before they take us there. So I watched my thoughts yesterday. Definitely wanted to go into the sadness, victim, poor me, pity me. But I was like, no, no, wait, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. And so instead, I focused on my gratitude. I focused on just on being like loving and kind. And then, you know what? And this was one of the hardest parts. I was supposed to go over to the other side of the lake with Luke yesterday. We were going to go on an adventure to the mystical yoga farm. Ooh. I've never been. I've heard it's very mystical. And he had gone ahead, and I was going to meet him there. And then because I got sick, I couldn't go. And so part of me was really, really sad-faced, disappointed, you know? And in the past, this has actually been one of the triggers for me, like feeling left out and, you know, all the other kids are having fun, but I don't get, and I love, you know, pity, you know. And so I saw it. I caught my mind. I witnessed it and I caught my mind. She was at first trying to go to this old pattern, but then came back and I was like, you know what? No, like I'm actually so happy to be home. I'm content. I'm grateful and content exactly where I am. So it turned into a good practice. And then I got a good night's sleep. Today I'm feeling fantastic. And then I am going to, actually here, I'm going to show you what I'm having for lunch. So I made some really, really great chicken soup for the kids. So with chicken and veggies. And it's funny, I was just like making the normal stuff for the dogs. And I'm like, wait a minute, I should have some of this. So I started putting in more of the herbs and the spices. And so actually, here are some of the plants that I had gotten to help kick the parasites. So that's what's it called? Oregano. That's the local oregano. There's plantain and apazote. So there's thyme. There's all this good stuff. There's all this like amazing stuff in here. So here's what's left of my sauerkraut. So I'm going to have to make a new batch of sauerkraut very soon. So I'm going to add some sauerkraut on top. Boop. Get me some good probiotics. Boop. And then also, where is it? Oh, so I also want to add something. So maybe you saw in one of my other videos that I was starting to, it was like a perfect storm. After the gardening course, I felt like I was coming down with a cold. I hadn't been sleeping enough. I had been putting my body under a lot of activity, little bit of stress, but enough to make it so that I was kind of not at my strongest state. And then a friend of mine had a cold, and then I got the cold, and so I don't know if you saw that. So I was coming down with a cold, and then I got the parasite, so it was extra shitty. But as soon as I felt myself coming down with the cold, I have been drinking the Firestarters that I made. I told you about this like cold and flu medicine you can make, and oh my god, I have never had such a fast like turnaround from feeling sick. So I really, really recommend you guys get on these Firestarters. So next time you start feeling sick, you just pull it out. I drank this like whole thing in one day. There really isn't that much liquid on it. And so today I'm working on this one. And I want to make some new ones because honestly, like we all need to have this in our cabinet. And what's great is that all the vegetables and stuff afterwards, because what's in here is onion, garlic, beet, ginger, a bunch of like really powerful plants that can help you boost your immune system. Then, after you're done, so you soak it in the apple cider vinegar and you leave it for 4 weeks. I only got to 3 weeks, and then afterwards, what you can do with this stuff is this becomes this like really lovely like pickled mix. And so I just put it on top of my food, and so it adds a whole other like flavor and texture, and it's just so good. So I'm going to show you this. So yeah, so now I got my chicken soup, I got my my sauerkraut, and then I also have my pickled Luke needs help. What? Luke doesn't need help. He missed his boat, I know, but he's on an adventure. Luke doesn't need help. Yeah, my cheeks are really rosy. Like I feel great. So yeah, you know, I have had a lot of sickness in my life, and I think that's why I'm so passionate about health and wellness now and finding ways to get better. I was always the first one to get sick. I was always the one to stay sick the longest. I was always the one with the reduced immune system, probably because I took so many antibiotics when I was a kid and it fucked up my stomach. Sorry, it messed up my stomach. And so I feel like I live most of my life in a really reduced state. So I feel like so much of what I'm doing right now, and I have been doing over the past, especially year, is rebuilding my system to become stronger. So yeah. So I'm actually feeling really great. So now the key with the parasites is that they work in cycles. So I feel like with everything I've done now, I've killed all of the active ones, but they may have laid some sort of eggs. So now the thing is to keep up the regime, to make sure that I can completely wipe them out, because that's what can happen. Yeah, because that's what can happen, is that people will wipe out the parasites in their current form, and then they think they're getting better, and then they go back to their old ways, and then the parasites come back, and it's a cycle of just getting sick over and over again. So that's what happened to me a lot last year. It's not something I want to do this year. So yeah, so amazing turnaround. I'm so psyched. And so now I just got to keep it up. I'm going to go get my test today. I'm going to see exactly what I'm working with. And yeah, let's put this down here. Let's see if I really recommend the Firestarter, guys. Everyone should be making Firestarter. It's so easy. And then the first sign of having a cold, bam, you just knock it out. You sip that bad boy all day or a few times a day. And it will help you or your family or your loved ones. Cindy asks, is the sauerkraut and Firestarter recipes on my website? No, Cindy, but that's a great idea. I am working on 2 blog posts right now. One of them is my breakfast smoothie recipe, but I think you're right. We need to do a Firestarter recipe, so I think that'll be something that we do very soon. I am going to make a fresh batch because it's so powerful, plus I got that gallon of apple cider vinegar. So, in preparation for our Firestarter recipe, so you can have the cold and flu medicine on hand for your fast turnaround, for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones, next time you or they get sick, which is inevitable, right? Some things you're going to have to get. So get on hand apple cider vinegar. I got a really big one because I'm going to make a lot of it, but you could just start with a small amount. So apple cider vinegar, you want to get onion, garlic, ginger, horseradish if you can find it, some things like turmeric. Did I say onion? Onion, garlic, ginger, turmeric. Here, let me pull out my recipe just to make sure that I can quote this correctly for you guys. Okay, red onion, garlic, lemon or orange, so you can have citrus, ginger, turmeric, horseradish, thyme. Actually, thyme was one of the herbs that I really smashed a lot of last night, so that really helped with my fast turnaround. And then if you like spicy, I don't like spicy, but you can include cayenne or jalapeno, and that will also help just really just smash through, just burn it, you know. So yeah, so we will do that recipe soon. So in the meantime, get those things: apple cider vinegar, garlic, onion, ginger, some sort of citrus, lemon or orange, turmeric, horseradish, thyme. If you can't get all of those things, don't worry about it. Here, okay, Elizabeth, I'm gonna show you the list. Take a screenshot or come back to this video and press pause and write down the ingredients, okay? Red onion, garlic, lemon or orange, fresh ginger, fresh turmeric, fresh horseradish, fresh thyme. You can add fresh cayenne and jalapeno, raw unpasteurized apple cider vinegar, honey. I actually never got to the honey. Yeah, great. Lotus has got it. Beets. Yeah, fun. You can add beets, and so you can add a lot of different stuff. So guys, I think this would be a good assignment for us all because when you're sick, it's too late. We got to do these things while we're healthy. We got to do these things while we have the energy to do them. It's like waiting until the enemy is at the gates of the castle to start sharpening your weapons. It's like, no, Sharpen them in advance. And then when you're sick and tired and you don't have the energy to do anything, you grab your Firestarter and you will be good to go. Hola, Felix. Cool. Awesome, Kelly. She said she made her first batch of sauerkraut when I was at my sister's. Awesome. Fantastic. Great, Elizabeth. I'm glad you got the picture. All right. So I am going to have this amazing looking, beautiful lunch here of this chicken soup. It's more like a chicken goop. And then I am going to get ready to go. Lana, don't worry about the amounts. Just get like, it depends on how big your jar is. You know, I started with like a small jar. This time I'm going to do a bigger jar because I just want to have more. But get at least like 1 onion, like a few heads of garlic, a big chunk of ginger. Don't worry about it. Just do what feels right. And if you have leftover, then use it for something else. Yeah, amazing. Okay, guys, I am going to get going. I'm really grateful for my fast turnaround. Thank you. I just want to acknowledge and thank all my plant allies for supporting me. You know, it's like, do you want to do life alone or do you want to do life with support? You know, and that's how I feel when I work with plants. I just feel like they've got my back. I feel like they help me so much. Here's another one. I've been using the Elderberry Syrup from Casa Curativa. And then there's also this longevity syrup. So this one after I had that sort of persistent cough after COVID. But I've had a lot of persistent coughs all my life, so it's nothing new. Interesting thing we learned about the respiratory system yesterday in class. The lungs can store grief. The emotion of grief can manifest in your lungs. So it's like if you're grieving, you may like, I find when I'm grieving, I want to smoke a cigarette, you know, like there's some relationship, there's some correlation with our lungs and with the emotion of grief. So that's just something to think about. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. I love y'all very much. And here's who I pray for a fast turnaround in all the places that it's needed right now. I pray for a fast turnaround for all of those people, all those families everywhere in the world who are going through dark times, who are struggling, suffering, sick, injured, suffering violence, suffering any kind of emotional, physical, mental, spiritual challenges right now. May you have a fast turnaround. May you recognize what you need. May you reach for what you need and receive for what you need. May you ask for what you need directly using your words, not with any sense of shame, but like, I need this, I want this, I would love to have this, may I have this, right? So when we can be really direct with people, we're more likely to get it. When you can be direct with the universe about what you want, you're much more likely to receive that from the universe rather than, maybe, can I have, maybe, please, no, like you're worth it, and you're worthy, and you deserve to have your needs met, and you deserve to have what you want and need in order to feel happy and full and healthy and content, you know? So I stand for that for you as I stand for that for myself. So, yeah, I'm happy to have my brain back too. Yesterday was really tough. Yesterday was a really tough day, but I surrendered into it and I didn't fight it, and I just watched Netflix and hung out and just, I cried to my friend, and that was it. I just like got it out because I just felt so bad. But yeah, now I feel like on top of the world. Temper. We must temper our energy, even if it feels like we have a lot. All right, guys. I love you very much. May you have a fast turnaround for whatever you're going through. May you receive the medicine that you need. Go get those ingredients for the Firestarter. We're going to do that soon, okay? I love you guys very, very much. Lotus, and also to all my high vibe tribers, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow morning for our Zoom call. I'm super excited about it. 8 a.m. here in Guatemala. Lotus, thank you for posting all of the different times in the group. And I will see you guys. Tara, I don't know what the focus on the Zoom is going to be. I'm going to meditate on that, and we'll know by tomorrow. So, oh, Chris, thank you. I care about you too. Thank you, guys. May we all have a fast turnaround. May we support our bodies with what they need, our bodies and our minds with what they need in order to complete our healing. because our natural state, we want to heal. Like our bodies want to heal. Like we want to heal. That's our natural state. And it's like, how do we support our healing? You know, how do we create an environment within us and outside of us to support our healing? What can we do to create the conditions for healing to occur, right? That's a question. All right. Love you guys. Bye. See you, my high vibe tribers. I'll see you tomorrow morning on our Zoom, okay? Hi, Virginia. Yeah, Virginia, I'm doing great. You can go back and watch the video. I'm about to have my little lunch here, but the short of it is I had a very fast turnaround. I did all of the right things with all of my herbal remedies, and today I'm feeling so great. But if you want the details, go back and watch the video. All right, I love you all. Bye, guys.